Okay guys, what's going on in the Bitcoin market? I'm sure some of you are wondering with this recent pullback today, pretty big crash in the price. So basically people are getting nervous about risk on assets. Bitcoin is still considered a risk on asset or investment at this point, just because interest rates are going up and a lot of the investments are taken out with a loan or with debt. So then when the cost of that money goes up, then people have a pressure to sell some of their investment to cover that cost, that growing cost of carrying the investment. So that is the main reason for the price correction in Bitcoin. This is pretty typical of the market. I've seen this before, so I encourage you not to buy into the fear. Don't get nervous here. I've been in a situation where you might have bought at these higher highs, back at the beginning of the year, and now we're down, I don't know what that is, 30–40% from the high. So you might be feeling pretty nervous, but I encourage you to hold on if you can. Hopefully you guys didn't invest money that you needed in the short term. I'm always a huge advocate of only investing money that you don't need for a year, 2 years, 3 years out. That way, if the price dips for any extended length of time, you're not forced to sell and then incur a loss on your investment. So the money that I invest into Bitcoin, I'm looking a minimum of 3–4 years out. I don't have to touch that money. I can leave it there for 5–10 years if I really need to. So that is the way I approach my investment with Bitcoin. But I thought we'd just take a look at the chart here and see what's going on. So we're on the daily time frame here, and you can see we've come down quite a bit since the peak back there of about 68,000, and we're back down near 36,000. So there is quite a bit of fear in the market right now. I'll show you some of the trend lines I've been looking at here. So there's this kind of one on a bit of an angle. I think we'll come down and test that. I'm looking to put some orders in there just for part of my buy-in. So let's say I want to put a $5,000 investment into Bitcoin. I might take 10% of that. So I might look at putting in $500, and I'll put my buy order in here right near that lower trend line at about 3,500 or $35,000. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for one of my buy-ins. I also think we could come back down to this lower level here and retest the 30,000 range. So that is a very big psychological area, a big psychological area of support, and just a psychological number that a lot of people are looking to. So if I was holding Bitcoin, I definitely wouldn't be selling unless you absolutely had to. Hopefully you can overcome the fear and the tendency to want to sell and panic in this kind of a situation. But I'm actually looking at buying and accumulating more while there's this pressure, while people are forced to be selling. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at some buy-in points here. So I just wanted to throw that out there, and hopefully you guys aren't feeling too nervous with this recent price pullback. So stay safe out there, guys. Remember, only invest what you can afford to hold on to for a couple of years, where you're not forced to cash out on your investment, and that way you're not forced to incur some losses. You can wait to sell at a higher point. So I hope you guys are all doing well out there, and I hope that provided you with some value. But I just wanted to give you a quick update on the Bitcoin market, as we had a fairly substantial pullback today with the price action. We had a correction of, well, I believe it's about 7%, but we were as much as 10% today. So that's a fairly decent size correction. And if we go higher here, so since the high, we're down at least 45–50% here since the high. So for me, that's a great buying opportunity. But for many that bought back near that high, back at the beginning of the year, they're probably feeling quite nervous. So if that's you, just try and remain calm. Don't panic sell. Stay in the market, because that is going to serve you better than trying to sell and buy back in lower. You're probably never going to beat the market. So that's my strategy. I hope you guys enjoyed that. This is not financial advice, but that's just what I'm doing and my perspective on markets. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and I'll see you guys